Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the campus here at Sanborn Regional High School. Jason Roby coming at you with the highlight guy, Deb Cody, as well as Nashua ETV. Joined by Bishop Guertin head man Brad Crake. And Coach Crake, first of all, I want to congratulate you on a great semifinal victory over Londonderry just a few nights ago. This, however, a completely different animal. A Bedford High School team that really had their way with you in the first meeting earlier in the season. You guys come back from all the way down, 21 points to post a huge win. Coach, how is that game all that time ago different from what we're going to see out here today?
I think it's entirely different. You know, they're a very different team. They have a full season under their belt now that, that I know's made them a better team, and I know that we're a better team. Same kids, same system, same scheme, but I think you'll see a really competitive basketball game today. And probably a better game than it was. It was exciting 2 months ago, but, lots of mistakes on both sides, and I think a lot of that has gotten cleaned up, and looking forward to a great game today.
They have one of the front runners for Player of the Year in Isabella King, and certainly they have a big presence on the inside as well, some young ladies that did some damage against you in that first meeting. What does Bishop Guertin have to do in the half court in order to kind of stay in this one early on?
Yeah, I think we have to do what we do. We're going to defend like we always try to defend. I think the big thing for us is just to try to make everything they do offensively hard. Get great ball pressure, get up into passing lanes, do a really good job down in the post. We're not going to. We've seen teams try to double and triple team the post and stuff. We're not going to do that to start. And I think that we've gotten here for a reason, and we're not going to significantly change what we do today.
Coach, you mentioned not changing what you do. In that first meeting, there was some foul trouble. You guys got into Stack and McDonald got into some early foul trouble, which kind of sent them to the bench. Has there been a message delivered to those ladies today about maybe playing a little bit differently, not getting the cheap ones?
Yeah, again, I think, everyone's going to foul. It's part of the game. The most important thing for us, as you say, I think you put your finger right on it, is let's not get the ticky-tack ones. And if we can stay out of foul trouble early, stay in our rotations and so forth, we feel good about things, and I think it's going to be a great game.
You mentioned, Coach, that the ticky-tack ones, obviously 3 referees on the floor for the finals as well as the semifinals, makes a little bit of a different feel for the game. Some things are seen that might not be seen in the early going. Is that a factor?
I don't think so. I mean, it's a little different with 3 refs. There's no question about that, but these are 3 very experienced refs. They've been in these situations before. They know what they're doing, and this game's not going to be about the referees. This game's going to be about the players, which is exactly what it's supposed to be.
We talked about King and McCarthy, the 6'2" center that Bedford has. They accounted for 42 points of Bedford's output the first time you faced them. Any special plans for them, or as you said, going to be business as usual for you guys?
Well, it's business as usual, but we certainly have prepared for those two. Couple little things that we'll try to emphasize, but again, you won't see us early in the game, radically change, what we do. I think we just got to be sound defensively, and as I said before, try to make everything very difficult for them. Every possession in and possession out.
Coach, one of the last questions I have for you, and we have stressed this, you and I have talked many times throughout the course of this year, the keys for victory have always been for Bishop Guertin to get out and run, transition offense, and then get back on defense. Meanwhile, Bedford High School, more of a half-court offensive mindset. You mentioned that you have to crash the boards and not give them second opportunities when they miss that initial shot, talking about Bedford offensively. Does that hinder you in any way from your run-and-gun mentality, having extra people back clearing the glass?
No, and it won't really be about us having extra people back. It'll really just be more about us being very conscious of the fact that we can't ball watch. And when the ball goes up, the first thing we've got to do is go find a body. Possess the ball and then get out in transition and see if we can run a little bit more and then run a little bit more after that. And, hopefully, obviously over a 4-quarter period of time, our depth and our style, plays in our favor. But it's what makes great games, two contrasting styles. And, the thing about the Bedford kids, people think, well, they're long and so forth. They're going to play in the half court. They get out in transition great as well.
Yeah, they do. They can run a little bit.
They're sneaky quick down the floor. So, it's just going to be a great basketball game, and I think it's the two best teams, standing here, and whoever plays the best is going to win a game today.
Coach, last one from me. At halftime, I always ask you, what are the points of emphasis that you're going to bring back to the ladies at halftime? Make those adjustments. You're going to be with the girls at halftime today, so I'll ask you this. What's the message heading into this one, to the words of encouragement that you're going to give to your Lady Cardinals as they prepare to tip off for really a lot of these girls' first action in a championship game?
Yeah, I think, one is probably the most important thing. I don't think it's so much about X's and O's at this point. It's about the fact that these guys have worked their tails off. They've prepared themselves all year long, and it's now their time.
Right. And
they just need to go out there and play the game that they love, put their best foot forward, and we'll see what happens. I think the less they think about things and the more free they play, the better off they'll be.
Great, Coach. Well, hopefully we get a chance to speak with you post-game. We'll be down on the floor somewhere down there with a microphone, and hopefully it's under the circumstances we'd like to see it under. But I want to thank you, congratulate you on a great regular season and a good postseason up to this point. Got the clash of the Titans out here today. Best of luck, Coach Craik, as he and the Lady Cardinals hope to bring the state title back to Nashua at the end of this one. Congrats,
Thanks.
Coach, and good luck.
Thanks very much. We'll see you after the game.
He is Brad Craik, the head man of the Lady Cardinals at Bishop Guertin High School. The boys took care of their business last night at Oyster River High School, defeating Winnicott in a defensive-minded game. We'll see if the Lady Cards can hold up their end of the bargain. Clash of the Titans, they're taking on a two-loss Bedford team, a different team than what they saw at the beginning of the year. This is definitely going to be a good one. You're going to want to see this one. And for those of you watching at home, you'll be seeing this on a 3-day delay, right? We are not live. So do me a favor. By the time you watch this, you'll know what the outcome is. Don't tell me I want to watch it for myself. We'll be back right after this.
This NHIAA Division I Girls Basketball Championship game is brought to you by Nashua ETV, where education hits home in Nashua, and by Steve and Deb Cody, the highlight guy on YouTube, providing highlight reels for your student athlete.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the campus here at Sanborn Regional High School, where we have Division I Girls Basketball Championship action ready for you today. Jason Roby, along with Tom King. The highlight guy is here, Deb Cody. Nashua ETV and our executive producer, Pete Johnson, is in the house. We got quite a treat for you today, Tom. We have the clash of the Titans, a Bedford and Bishop Guertin girls basketball teams with only 2 losses between them. But we're going to go back to that original game we saw a couple of months ago where Bedford, for all intents and purposes, had the game sewn up. Bishop Guertin comes storming back and upsets them on their own home floor.
Well, in that first half, Gurton's 2 maybe best defenders, Megan Stack and Kaylee Mcdonald, were on the bench with foul trouble. Brad Craik has this rule that if you get 2 fouls in a half, you're sitting for the rest of the half, no matter when it is. So, and that's a smart rule to have, to save your players for the second half. Bedford made hay inside with Stack out of the game and McDonald out of the game, and then all of a sudden, with them coming back into the game, it made all the difference in the world. Gurton did it on defense as McCarthy, the freshman,
right,
and Isabella King,
right.
Where King kind of carried the second half a little bit for Bedford, if I remember. But
Correct.
The key for Gurton in that game, Jason, down the stretch, they had to win it down the stretch. And you know what? When you come back, you get a little tired. They didn't. And they were at the foul line, and they hit their free throws, and that really stung Bedford in the fourth quarter.
You mentioned McCarthy and potentially the player of the year in the state, Isabella King, for Bedford. They accounted for 42 of Bedford's 64 points in that one. One of the factors, Tom, that we'll have to keep a close eye on, and you mentioned when McDonald and Stack went out in foul trouble, really had to go into that bench. Gurton at the time was missing 2 potential players for them in Maisie Barker, a Spitfire point guard, as well as Dara Ocheng, a 6-footer. Do those ladies make an impact today?
See, I think Barker will. Ocheng hasn't been as part of the rotation that much, but today she might be. You know why? She's got height, she's got length, and she's got 5 fouls.
Right.
And that really would help Gurton's depth if they can use her today. So, it's all about matchups, Jason, in terms of the teams you play and what happens. But if she comes off the bench, that means that Gurton is going to look to defend in the low post. They really will have to try to make sure that King and McCarthy don't beat them, you know, unless they take the adage, okay, we'll let them get their points and we'll have to shut the others down, because I think those two can almost beat them by themselves.
Bishop Guertin, we mentioned, Tom, that good success from the foul line in that first one. They were 29 out of 33 from the charity stripe, and a big factor there was Olivia Murray going 9 for 11 in the second half, 7 of 7 in the fourth quarter. If it becomes a game of free throws, you have to like Gurton's chances.
Yeah, you do, but you know what? Gave us a glimpse as to what we saw in Murray. Murray has had an outstanding tournament. She had 18 the other night. I think she has had double figures in just about every tournament game. She's played really well. She's, in my mind, their best non-low post offensive player. And I think that Murray, if she has a good game, that's going to bode well for Gurton. But the key for them will be, what does Stack do? This is Stack's time. She's a sophomore. Brad Creek thinks she has unlimited potential. If she can have a good, solid 4 quarters for Gurton today, that would be a real boost for the Cardinals, and they would probably win the game.
It's going to be a game of contrasting styles. You're going to have the half-court offense of Bedford against the run-and-gun style of Bishop Guertin. It should be a good one here from the campus of Sanborn High School. We want to mention to everybody that you'll be watching this on NHIAA TV and the highlight guy 3 days after the fact, because we do not have the rights to telecast live. So you will already know the results of this one, Tom. I already told the fans, if they know how it ends, don't tell us. We want to watch it and see what happens.
Yep, exactly.
All right, we're getting ready to introduce the starting lineups for both of these teams. Tom King is going to go down and get some photographs. I'll take you all the way to just a little bit inside the second quarter. We'll meet the starters for both of these teams. Bishop Guertin comes in undefeated on the year, while Bedford is a 2-loss team. They lost to this Bishop Guertin Cardinal team 69-64, and also to Manchester Central, which was quite the surprise, as they lost 38-43. So we attribute that to some of the injuries, but this is a Bedford team that is firing on all cylinders right now. And for Bishop Guertin to have some success in this one, they are going to have to hit the outside shot today. Everything inside is going to be contested. We'll meet the starters for both of these teams. We also have a halftime interview for you. We'll talk a little bit. First starter is Sophia Mampini, who had 7 points in that first game. Her counterpart will be Brooke Paquette, who had 15 points in the first meeting, starting point guard for BG. Sid the Kid Grogan, 5 points in that first one. Good pestering defense. Number 11 for the Cardinals, Olivia Murray. She had 11 points, but none bigger than the 7-for-7 free throws she hit in the fourth quarter in that first meeting. Number 20 is Catherine Pennick, a 5'11 junior forward. Megan Stack, a 6-foot sophomore forward, had 11 points in the first meeting between these two teams and some foul trouble. She'll have to stay out of foul trouble if Gurton is to win the state title. Lana McCarthy, the 6'2 freshman forward for Bedford, who had an outstanding matchup, 24 big points. And speaking of 24, there's Kaylee Mcdonald, defensive stalwart for the Cardinals. Number 30, Isabella King, front runner for Player of the Year here in the state of New Hampshire. And she'll meet up with Caitlin Wheeler, who had 9 points in their first meeting. So this should be a good one, fans. Kevin Gibbs is the head man for Bedford High School. Brad Craik, the head man for the Lady Cardinals. We'll take this time out for the national anthem.
The national anthem this evening will be performed by Sanborn freshman Abby Allie Violet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
rendition of the national anthem there. We are ready to get underway. Division I Girls Championship basketball action here from the campus of Sanborn Regional High School. Jason Roby here calling the action, and we'll be joined by Bob Dawson, the athletic director at Sanborn, at halftime, and kind of find out how this particular venue came into being. We'll talk about the court dimensions and the flood that they had here a little while ago. They had to repair the floor. But everything is dry now, and we are ready to go here. This should be a good one. I want to thank our executive producer, Pete Johnson, for bringing some Clem's Bakery donuts over to us. We'll try to stay away from those. Hopefully this doesn't go into overtime. Bedford will inbound the ball. These two teams, no strangers to one another. They have faced off in a few state championship tilts. BG has come away the victor each time. Last year, the season was cut short because of COVID. Co-champions were named. Runner in the lane, getting her own rebound there was Grogan, dished it back out. King couldn't get it to go. That ball will go out of bounds off of Grogan. Gurton will keep possession. Murray to inbound for the Cardinals. Into the backcourt for Paquette. She'll work at half court, looking for the pick on ball. Instead, we'll hand it off to Murray. Murray whips it around. McDonald gets it back to Wheeler. Wheeler back to Murray. Murray dribble drive, penetrate. Runner, floater in the lane, can't go. And there with the big rebound was Lana McCarthy. She gets the ball off. 0-0 here in the early going. Ball goes through the hands of Mumpini. She gets it back over to Grogan. She'll direct traffic at the top, guarded closely there by Paquette. Back to Mumpini. Mumpini gets the pick on ball. Rolls to the right. She'll fire from the elbow, hard off the glass. Paquette with the rebound will clear it for the Cardinals. Back the other way comes Wheeler and the Cards, and a great dish there. Couldn't finish it was McDonald. Rebound goes to King. So a couple of good looks for Bedford, a couple of fast break chances for the Cardinals. Neither team can put it away. 6:41 to go here, 0-0. Grogan loses her dribble. Out into the corner, and a nice job there, a good look, but the top of the basket is on. And a nice lead pass there, stepping in was Mumpini, knocking it away. Trying to thread that needle was McDonald to Murray, could not get it in there, but the Cardinals will get possession underneath their own basket. Paquette now. Got to get it in. Cardinals with stagnant feet. Able to find Stack at the top of the circle. Stack now will pull back. Hard off the side of the rim as she was challenged there by McCarthy. Cardinals will have their work cut out for them trying to work against McCarthy as Stack was fronting her there at the elbow. Dribble penetrate and a nice kiss off the glass for the first points of the game goes Catherine Pennick. Pennick was held scoreless in the first one between these two teams. So important for her to get off to a good start as well. McDonald now to Murray. Murray working against Mumpini. Gets it to McDonald, top of the key, Paquette. The dribble penetrate. Reverses direction, kick back out to McDonald. Looking for Stack on the low post, can't get it to her. Now they do, guarded there by McCarthy. Up and under Dipsy-do, can't clean it up. Murray cleans up the glass, misses a three-pointer. McDonald comes in for it. We're gonna get our jump ball in possession. We'll go to the Cardinals. It's a good hustle there on the glass by Bishop Guertin. Paquette now to inbound the ball. Finds Stack at the elbow extended. Gets it back over to Paquette. She loses the handle. And a deep three-pointer for Wheeler. Cardinals having trouble taking the top off the basket. But another offensive rebound. Paquette will drive, looking for the backdoor cut. Grogan stepped into that passing lane in front of Stack. Back the other way now comes Bedford. And they'll call her on a travel, a good double team there. It looked like it was McDonald who came over to help Stack on the double team in the low post. And as a result, McCarthy got called for the travel. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter, a 2-0 Bedford advantage. McDonald now, left-hand dribble behind the back, gets it over to Paquette. From distance, couldn't get it to go there. A good look for Stack. And a steal there by Paquette. She'll hit the runner in the lane, misses it, cleans up her own mess. Had a couple of Cardinals underneath. But luckily, Pennick was there to clean it up for the Bulldogs. Isabella King now will drive baseline and down, and it's going to be a foul on McDonald. It looked like she tripped, and she ended up taking King down with her. So that'll be her first foul of the game. She draws the task of trying to stop the odds-on favorite for Player of the Year. King now whips it around to Pennick. Pennick gets the ball back to Grogan. Grogan finding McCarthy, the runner in the lane, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound there, and a cleanup by Pennick, who has 4 points, and all 4 of Bedford points at this time. Paquette finds McDonald. McDonald now with dribble drive, top of the key extended. Working against Grogan, will hand it off to Murray. The defensive switch finds the ball in Paquette's hands. Paquette now, triple threat position, back to Stack, top of the key. McCarthy will come out to get her, and Stack gets the roll, and that looks to be take her off the dribble, bring it to the hole, and see if you can get the first step on McCarthy. Back the other way comes Bedford. Mumpini with a three-pointer is good. 7-2 now, Bedford. In the corner to Wheeler. She'll get it back out to Paquette. Paquette directing traffic, top left-hand side of the circle. Grogan poked it away. Possession kept by Gurton. McDonald into the key. Gets it back out to Wheeler. She'll dribble drive into the key. And foul going to be called on the floor. We'll see who they give it to. Yeah, that's going to be Pennick's first, as Wheeler was met there by the double team. Wheeler can't get the first to go. She'll try for the second. First substitute in is Maisie Barker. She'll give Murray a break. Barker, all kinds of energy off the bench, won't lose much there. Wheeler gets the second, 1 of 2 from the line. Gurton will also substitute in now Maddie Bowen. Bowen will give, looks like, Wheeler a break. Gurton now trying the half court, or the full court trap rather. They reverse it, which is what you need to do against the press. They quickly fall back on defense. Grogan, top of the key now. Able to find Pennick, who tried dishing it underneath, and McDonald again helping on that double team on McCarthy. Paquette will dribble drive. Double team there, the backdoor cut. They were looking for Stack. They found her, a nice pass, and all kinds of bodies on the floor, some pushes going on. They're going to call possession of Bedford. It looks like they're going to let them play in the early going here. Let the bodies hit the floor. Loose balls everywhere. Gurton will extend the full court pressure. Here comes the trap. They get it to Mumpini, back to Grogan. They reverse it to Pennick. Pennick, and the ball was stolen. Maddie Bowen stepped in front of that pass that was intended for McCarthy. Barker now finding Paquette. Paquette on the paint, gets it into Stack, and she cleans it up. And a good look there, and a nice job as Stack, and a steal. Paquette now the other way, into the lane. The floater couldn't get it to go. Pennick will clean it up. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. Grogan now. Crossover dribble, guarded closely by Barker, and McDonald stepping in that passing lane. And you can sense the temperature starting to rise in this one just a little bit as Murray will check back in, and getting her first action for Bedford is Emma Kezianski. She'll give Pennick a break. Mumpini gets the ball into Grogan, forced to her left, and they high-low, and it was a good double team again as McDonald stepped out to help. No travel called there, but they're going to get it on the other end, so both of these teams playing like their hair's on fire. There is no tomorrow. Winner gets the state championship crown. Back underneath, and the reverse layup there by Stack. She couldn't get it to go. Fights for her own miss. Goes off the foot of a Bulldog. Barker in the paint, can't get it to go, and Stack is going to get called for an over the back, I believe. No, they're going to say the foul. interesting call there. I think that call was on McCarthy. Can't be sure. And that ball's going to go off of Stack's leg and out of bounds. So the game plan here, get Stack open up top and let her take it off the dribble against McCarthy. She has a faster first step. There's the trap in the corner. That ball's going to be stolen by the Cardinals. Paquette comes back the other way. She's not shy. She'll front rim it, though, from distance. Grogan finds Mumpini working against Bowen. And the dish underneath and a pretty play there is a nice pass and finish by Emma Kezianski. Barker now trying to get fancy, has that ball stolen. Mumpini doesn't have the numbers. No call there on McDonald. They let him play. Mumpini will go the other way for 2. 11-5 now, Bedford. Cardinals working in the half court. Barker, right side. She'll fire from distance. Side irons the three-pointer. 46 seconds to go here. Mumpini working against Murray. Got the ball back out to King. King now. Dribble penetrate in the lane. Pretty kiss off the glass for Isabella King. 13-5 now, Bedford. Stack will fire and make the pretty jump shot from the left elbow extended. Here comes Mumpini with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Grogan steps in front of that pass. She'll dribble, try to feed McCarthy on the post. A spin move in the middle and a pretty make there. We're going to come to the end of one quarter of action here. The Bedford fans are up on their feet, hooting and hollering it up. It is a 15-7 Bedford Bulldog lead. What a lot of people don't realize is that Bedford was actually out by a 28-16 lead in that first game. It was a Bedford lead of 28-6. So really, if you're doing it by the numbers, it's only an 8-point lead. So you try to find the silver lining in these things for Bishop Guertin. And look, we're only down 8, whereas the first time we played them, we were down 16. So 8 minutes here per quarter in girls high school basketball action. That'll probably be the message from Coach Brad Craik, is to just keep your composure here, make some of those open looks from the outside, and you'll be right back in this thing. They're creating the double team down underneath. On McCarthy. So Bedford will get possession to start the second quarter. Mumpini will take it out. She's asking for help, looking for Grogan. Looks like McCarthy will step out to the half-court line. Pick away from ball into the hands of King. King working on McDonald now. Behind the back she goes, top of the circle. Denial defense errors. Grogan matches up with Barker. And a nice ball fake and make there in the key, and a pretty move by number 15. And she's having a huge first quarter here. In the final off the bench is Emma Kezianski. Bowen now. She'll dribble drive, take it in, and that shot was altered by McCarthy. Stepping into the lane there was McDonald, goes off of her hands. Bedford will get possession. A 10-point advantage for the Bulldogs. McCarthy now in the paint working against the smaller, shorter Bowen, and that's going to be a mismatch every time. 19-7 now. Barker takes it in to the paint and cannot get the layup. So the top of the basket is on and sealed tight. They'll go back into McCarthy, look to the back side of things. King from the outside, and she says Yahtzee and knocks down the three-pointer. 22-7 now.
And it looks like we're watching a repeat of what we saw in Bedford.
Well, that first quarter in Bedford, Tom, was a 16-point advantage for the Bulldogs.
It still had the feeling of that.
It does
this
indeed.
Team hadn't been like in this situation all season, except for that day.
And you mentioned it, the Stack come out to get her first break, and they took advantage with.
Oh, sure, they go right inside.
McCarthy.
Now Stack's got to come in. Paquette's got to come in. The situation right now is you're off to a 3 for 19 start from the floor. 3 for 19. That's not going to help.
And some of those looks are open looks too,
They're
Tom.
wide
right?
open looks. They're rushing their shots. The moment has seemed to have gotten to them a little bit.
And as you say that, Paquette step back, hits a nice little jump shot. 22-9 now. They'll dribble right through the middle. Will Grogan loses her dribble, needs some help, finds McCarthy standing out near half court, gets it back to Grogan. The roll, and what a great job. And I'll tell you what happened, it was a pick and roll, high pick and roll, and Paquette had to switch off on McCarthy, and that was a mismatch from the get-go.
See, Gurton's not able to execute that kind of offense right now. They don't have the experience to do that.
Paquette, top of the circle, let one fly, side iron.
A lot of those shots.
Yeah, and
a lot of those desperation threes from the outside. And the other thing, too, is number 11 has not gotten on track in Murray. Like I said, they need points from her. They're not getting that. So, I mean, she's been offered her shot.
Molly Smith will check in for her first action of the game here. Grogan, skip pass across, and the Bulldogs working around, and they are on fire. Isabella King knocking one down from three-point land. They reversed the ball, Tom, and found King was wide open for the three.
It's not unbelievable, but it is unbelievable the way Bedford is off to their start and shooting the way they are.
Well, and if you look there, they're going to call that on Stack, and I said when I watched that semifinals against Londonderry, I didn't think Bishop Guertin would be able to operate inside because they had trouble with Londonderry, if you remember correctly.
Exactly.
If you have trouble with Londonderry's bigs, you're going to have a lot of trouble with this Bedford team. McDonald now applying the pressure to Grogan. They'll dribble it up. Finding it in the side to Emma Kezianski, who's had a monstrous first half off the bench thus far. And she'll fire from range, side iron there, but hustling for the rebound was King, couldn't get it. 5:13 to play here in the first half. A 27-9 Bedford Bulldog advantage. These two teams, in terms of success, are mirror images, but in terms of style of play, complete opposites, really.
Oh, really? I know.
Grogan comes back the other way, finds King. King now.
Let's see.
And a nice dish, and a great job of recognition by King. She made that play. McCarthy all alone underneath for the layup.
And no timeout. I'm surprised. I thought Brad might call some timeouts.
Well, it's a 20-point Bedford advantage at this point.
See, Bedford got into their offensive flow, you know?
And not to be outdone. And that young lady, Tom, needs to get hot.
And now Brad is calling timeout. They can't rely on Stack from the outside.
Right.
They've got to get their guards involved in the offense.
I think what we're going to see, Tom, what worked for them early on was when Stack came out beyond the foul line, McCarthy had to follow her, and they used their quickness to get by McCarthy. I think you have to continue that mentality, and when Stack gets double teamed, you kick it back out to your outside shooters.
Yeah, but
they need to knock down their shots.
Right, but you know what the problem is now, Jason? You're down 17 points. You can't trade baskets. Defensively, they are getting beaten down the floor, and defensively, Bedford is able to operate their half-court offense.
Bedford is dribble penetrating, which forces the double team, and you find the back door.
And also it leads to the open people outside.
Right.
So this half-court offense for Bedford, they're executing their offense, but they're also forcing Gurton to play their game. Because what's Gurton's offensive game? It comes off the defensive transition. And they're not getting that right now. Every time they've had a steal and try to fast break down, Bedford has gotten back on defense and prevented the easy layup. Or they've missed the easy layup.
Right. McCarthy working against Stack. She'll step into the passing lane, come away with the interception. The Cardinals have the numbers. We'll see what they do with it.
See, now they're going to have to hit that shot.
Paquette from the outside hits a three. And that was good recognition by Barker, realizing they had the numbers advantage. It was a 5-on-4. That ball going to go off McDonald's leg. Very important defensive possession here for the Cardinals.
Here's what you do. The goal right now with 4:10 left in the first half is to cut it under double digits.
Nice block shot there by McDonald. They have the numbers again, Tom.
Stacks all the way? No, Barker. And that's the problem.
Got to finish.
That's the problem. They haven't finished those chances.
Barker now marking up on Grogan. Grogan will get the ball to King. Right side extended, guarded closely by McDonald. She'll find Raja. Braga went in underneath, and of course they found McCarthy. So McCarthy had a huge first quarter last game. She's having a huge second quarter. Paquette will take it to the hole and had a chance for the three-point play. Misses the layup. She'll go to the line for 2. Looks like it's going to be Grogan's first foul.
Well, right now, Paquette and Stack are carrying this team offensively, and that's not enough. That is not enough.
Paquette will go to the line. She had 15 points in the first meeting between these two teams.
It hit a lot of those.
Can't get the first one to go. That ball was in and out.
This is what, I think they finally they're finally back to being sophomores right now.
Paquette knocks down the second.
The way that first quarter started, the way that they were tentative on offense.
Stack steps into that passing lane. Tom King comes away with another steal.
Got to convert though.
And no on the three-point play, but McDonald going to go to the line. We'll see if the foul's on, Tom.
That basket has a lid. That's right. See, that's the other thing too, is you can get those Bedford big people out of the game if you go at them.
Right.
And I think in the first quarter they were afraid to do that for some reason.
McDonald knocks down the first. She'll get a second. Knocks down the second. So 31-18 now. Back the other way comes the Bulldogs. Christina Braga now tried to get it over to Mampini and a turnover.
This is how you come back. Your defense becomes your offense. You have to do that for Gurton. They cannot match baskets with this half-court team.
Paquette will bring it up the floor, the two-guard system as...
I'm sure when Kevin Gibbs goes in to talk to his team at the half.
Give and go, what a pretty play there, but the top on the lid. That ball's going to go off of Bedford.
Yep, off of Paquette.
Or Paquette, rather, excuse me, Bedford ball.
The hoop's got a lid on it, but
they're getting good looks.
I'm sure when Kevin Gibbs goes into halftime, but while he tells them how well they played, he's also going to tell them, girls, we can't afford those turnovers in the second half or we'll lose.
Well, it's a shooting percentage thing at this point, Tom, and the numbers don't lie. BG shooting very poorly from the field.
3 for 19 start, and I haven't kept the rest after that.
And a nice look out there, in and out, and a good rebound clearing the boards is Paquette. She'll sprint.
They got to push the pace against this team.
And an offensive foul on Paquette. I got to be honest, I thought she would have been called for the carry before the offensive foul, but that's going to be Paquette's, I don't know if it's her first or her second couple of substitutes.
I believe that's number 2, isn't
Pennick, it might be. Pennick checks in, as does Caitlin Wheeler.
She's still in the game, so that means no.
Murray checks out, so.
Yeah, see, Murray, that's the thing, is Murray, 0, right? I don't think she scored in this game.
No points for Murray.
Right, and
the trap on the baseline, another steal there, and it should have been a foul, and it's going to be, as that foul is going to be called on Pennick. And I'll tell you what, Tom, that could be it's either 2 or 3 on Pennick. We'll have to keep a close watch on that one because she had 4 quick points in the first quarter. 6 fouls against the Bulldogs, so 1 more. BG will be in the bonus. Only 3 team fouls for the Cardinals.
Now, see, no one cutting across on that. See, you see that?
Yeah.
They had the wide open spaces, no one cutting across.
Stagnant feet by Gurton does him in the turnover. Back the other way comes King and the Bulldogs.
They're just better at the half court.
Leaning on McCarthy there is Stack. Grogan looking to feed it in, gets the pick from Mampini. She'll skip it across the Pennick baseline jumper, back iron. Good box out there by Stack. That ball's rolling the floor. Barker goes for it, and we're gonna get a jump.
Timeout, Bedford.
And they're giving possession to Bedford.
No, timeout, Bedford. They called time.
No, okay, timeout Bedford.
She called time, I believe. Yep, that's what they called. Yep. smart play.
So
The possession arrow would have been Gurton.
31-18 here. 2:02 to go in the first half.
The key is going to be that third quarter.
A 13-point Bedford advantage, an important stop needed by the Cardinals here. We're going to be joined at halftime by Sanborn Athletic Director Bob Dawson, and we're going to find out just how it came to be that we had these semifinals and finals here. Also,
I know how. I can tell you how.
Well, don't, Tom. That's what the halftime interview's for.
I can tell you how.
Come on, man.
I told you it was. Who told you it was going to be here?
You told me, but
Right,
I don't.
exactly.
Come on.
Right.
See, you want people to go to the refrigerator and get food at halftime, or do you?
Yeah. Let Bob tell you. He'll tell you. He may not tell you the real story. Let's do it that way.
We'll get that from the scoop from Tom King later. Also had the opportunity to talk to Jeff Collins, former teammate of mine at the University of New Hampshire. Yankee Conference champions back in 1991. Coach Collins, or Mr. Collins, now the head of the NHIAA. Pennick now gets the pick. McDonald guards her closely. Mumpini working against Murray. And there's the high pick and roll again, Tom. And there's a mismatch inside with Murray.
Oh, look at the baseline wide open.
And it's
King.
a really good design. King fires from the outside. Cleaning up there was McCarthy. And a great point made by Coach Craik is that, look, this is a Bedford team that's great in the half court, but they can run too. They're athletic. They can move a little bit.
Yeah, but they won't.
They don't have to.
They don't have to right now. And they're not going to run in the second half. They let that clock tick down.
33-18. High post now. She'll fire from the free throw line. Back iron.
You know what? Stack's got to drive it to
Drive
the hoop.
to the hoop.
McCarthy in foul trouble. That's the thing.
And she has the first step, against her. She's shown that she can
quicker.
drive by her. Right.
She's quicker. She's got to do that. Don't settle for the easy shot.
Looks like Wheeler will check back in and give Barker a break. 1:09 to go here in the first half. 33-18 Bedford advantage. Paquette working against Grogan. And they'll clear the right side. And there goes Stack in the middle. Three
Triple
Bulldogs
team.
standing around her.
Go
She
on.
does the drop step, pretty move
That's
with
what
the
you
right
can do.
hand.
So do it. That's what you need.
And a pretty play there. 2-on-1 for Bedford. Stepping into the passing lane was Paquette. Back come the Cardinals. Paquette will take it to the hole. Little hesitation move there, Tom.
Great move.
And another steal, near steal on the floor goes Stack. King lucky to come away with that one. 30 seconds in the first half. Pennick will find Grogan. Grogan, skip pass over to King. King working against Stack now.
Got to keep Bedford off the board those last 19
Wheeler's
seconds.
working against McCarthy. We'll see how that pans out. They'll switch back off, and now they will
Now
go
it's
Grogan
Stack.
on Wheeler. And a nice look there, couldn't go. A nice box out there.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was a nice box out
It
by
was,
Stack.
but King got the steal in the hoop. That's a dagger, that hoop. That's one that should not have happened.
So we're going to go into halftime. Your score at the end of 2 quarters of play, the Bedford Bulldogs are up on the Cardinals 35-22. And in just a moment here, we will invite over Athletic Director Bob Dawson, Sanborn AD, who will be joining us on NHIAA TV / The Highlight Guy. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. Deb Cody is on the moving pictures. And hopefully we can get Mr. Dawson over here. Well, Tom, I got to tell you, as we go into this half, the thing that scared you the most was the presence of Lana McCarthy inside. And she had 10 big points there in the second quarter as the result of some high pick and rolls and size disadvantages.
But then you have to also worry about King. you
Well,
know?
King is cleaning up as well. All right. Joining us now here at the half, we have the athletic director of Sanborn Regional High School, Mr. Bob Dawson. Bob, want to thank you for taking some time out to join us here on NHIAA TV and the Highlight Guy. And we have to ask, Bob, one of the questions when Tom King came to us with the information that Sanborn was going to be hosting the Division I semifinals and finals. I think the question from around the state was, how did that come into being? What was the process whereby it was determined you guys would get to host this?
Well, my question is, did you have to go to the orthopedic to get your arm fixed after
No.
the NHIAA twisted it?
No, not at all. We it was they sent an email out I don't know, a month or so ago and said, you know, we're looking for schools that want to host, and at least from my perspective, this is all about the kids and giving them an opportunity to play on a neutral site. The worry was that, you know, we'd have a game like this being played in one of the team's home gym, and that's not what you want. You want to give the kids the prime experience they can for the tournament. This is kind of life-changing opportunity for a lot of kids, memory for sure. And, you know, it's a couple hours out of our time and getting everything set up and making it work. So to me, it was a kind of a no-brainer to give the kids an opportunity to play here. And I knew we had the facility. We had enough of the little stickers that I put out on the bleachers to spread everybody out. I've been talking about on the PA all night. And, you know, if you can give kids a chance to live out this dream moment that they've all looked forward to, and, you know, we can help out, why not? I mean, I'm kind of surprised more people didn't volunteer, to be honest with you.
That segues into my next question. And what were some of the protocols that you had to be aware of, that you, certainly having games here in person, but now where you're bringing in spectators from two sides of things, what are some of the protocols and safety measures you put in place to make this happen?
Sure. Well, we had I've actually got a bunch of volunteers here. They look a lot like my girls' basketball team, because they are, and they've been awesome in helping out and getting people in. We put, you know, we got stickers on the bleachers. I mentioned those before, but you know, you're hoping people will choose to do the right thing and sit on them, and for the most part, they have. To, you know, separate themselves from the other people here. We do the temperature checks at the door, and I think everybody by this point knows all the protocols that we're looking for. We have the good fortune here of having enough bleacher seating where we could get about 22 pairs of seats per team, including a media section here where we are. And, you know, as long as you can make it work, it's really not that much different. Particularly with this game, we can just, you know, close up the bleachers at the end of the game. Nobody's going to sit on them for a couple of months, so we're good there. And, you know, it's really wasn't too complicated or different than we did during the regular season when we had, you know, spectators for games.
And it helps that the crowd is limited. I mean,
Sure.
you know, that's a big factor for a lot of schools who said yes, they don't have to deal with large crowds. So that's why these games are usually held in a college setting, which couldn't happen this year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it would be nice if we get back to using more high schools than the colleges. I understand why we don't do that, because, you know, people don't necessarily want to be on the hook. The same guys are on the hook all the time for the games. Pinkerton's been good over the years. I've been to a bunch of volleyball games at Pinkerton and some other events there. And, you know, it's a big commitment to do this. And, you know, we have a gym that maybe we could do that if we pulled the other set of bleachers out in a non-COVID environment, kind of crammed everybody in here. And I like the idea of using a home gym because it gets nice and grouchy and loud and fun. And, you know, the kids are hanging off the rafters. And there's something to be said for that. I mean, the biggest thing I miss are the students, you know.
Right.
If you don't have a good 150, I bet with these two teams we'd have, you know, a couple hundred kids here for sure, make it a heck of a lot more noise than the parents do. And we miss that. But, you know.
You think we'll return to that next year? Or do you think it'll be kind of some part of it, but not all of it?
Yeah, I think I'm more focused right now as an athletic director on our spring season. We have our practices starting March 29th for our outdoor sports. The NHIAA has told us there's a likelihood we're going to see some, you know, protocols for sports before the season starts. And what I've done is prime my athletes for the spring season to assume that they're going to be masked.
Right.
You know, if you're running the 2 mile with a mask on, then the guy next to you is running the 2 mile with a mask on, nobody's happy. But if that's everybody safer, then, you know, that's what we're going to do. So we're going into this with the mentality that everybody's going to be masked doing everything. And if we back off of that, if there's a way to do it in a safe environment and not have that, okay, you know, it's good. And being outdoors is obviously a huge difference. You know, we're gonna put our outfield fence up on the baseball field, which we don't do every year, with the idea that parents may be sitting out beyond the outfield fence, because that may be the only place that it works.
Right. Sure. Exactly.
And you know but they're there, and we've been fortunate here with our school board's cooperation and really the cooperation of the fans on both teams to be able to allow fans from both schools to be at our outdoor events. And I made the decision this year to allow the fans to be here from the seniors on the other team.
Good.
Because this is really their last opportunity, and I know how much it hurt the seniors last spring to not be able to play out their last games, and the parents didn't have a chance to see those concluding events for the kids in the spring sports. So being able to let them be here was something that we decided early on, and we had a good number of parents show up from the other teams to come see their kids play, and they were all incredibly thankful for that. And to me, it was just a simple thing to do. It's not a lot of extra people in the gym, and they were always great about sitting on the stickers and doing what they needed to do. So there you go.
Did you have to go through the Board of Education, through I guess the hierarchy to get the okay here today?
Yeah, I send an update every 2 weeks to our school board about the numbers of students across the school and the student athletes that we have that have tested positive or where we've had to do. And we have had to do some quarantining of both individual athletes and teams this year. And I give them an update, and they've been very good. When I called my superintendent, when I got the call from Jeff Collins at the NHIAA, do you want to do this? And I called my superintendent and said, this is what we want to do. He was, super cooperative about it. It's just to be technical, it's our event.
Right. We're
hosting it for the NHIAA, which is, kind of an important distinction, but it allows us to, play that. But they've been very good. I talked to them. I wasn't so sure that hockey was going to work this year, but the hockey kids, basically, I had a meeting with them as a team, and they said we're going to be really careful about our protocols, and I've been to a couple games that they've played, and they've been really good.
That's great.
So it's hard to argue with that. I was really concerned about hockey because of the benches and things like that.
Did you use locker rooms in hockey, or did you have them dressed outside the rooms?
Yeah, it's interesting. We were at our playoff game in Nashua at Conway when we played Hollis, Brookline Dairy Field, and the kids are in the corner of the rink.
Right,
not in the locker room, but they're spread out and they're changing, and that, it wasn't ideal, but at the end of the day, they got to go on the ice and and play, and we didn't win. We ended up losing to a team that lost in the finals yesterday.
Yep.
3-1 with an empty netter. So our kids played maybe their best game of the year. My goalie was Josh, did an amazing job, and so you just make it work.
Bob, I want to get back to this gym a little bit. This is a beautiful facility, and obviously it allows you to show off, your facility and get your programs out there. I know this school probably, about 15 years old, give or take?
I think it's, 15 years this year, actually, yep.
And I had read somewhere that there was an issue with the floor, with some flooding or something a while ago. What was that all about?
Well, all we did was resurface the floor about 18 months ago over the summer. I believe it was last year. It might have been 2 years ago. And within, I don't know how many months, we had a wind condition that blew a roof flap off, which had a bunch of water running down the wall behind me here.
Oh, no.
Ouch.
It didn't hit too much of the playing surface. In fact, I'm not even sure it did kiss the playing surface for the game today, but it did. And we lost our gym for the whole graduation season. In fact, we took a picture of our graduates in this. It was actually the spring of 19, it would have been, because graduation's last time we had an outdoor graduation, we didn't have the backup. So we were all freaking out around graduation day about what we were going to do if it was raining, but it didn't. We bought a big tent we could put all the kids under and made it work. So
I love going out to different high schools and seeing what kinds of things they do differently. And you have a pretty neat tradition with your freshman kids when they enter the building. They get to ring a bell, and then they get to ring it 4 years later when they graduate as they exit the building. That's a pretty neat tradition for the kids.
Yeah, that's this actually. There's two parts to that. The building itself is kind of styled after a farm because we're on an old farm, and the Sanborn Seminary, which is where we started. We're one of the oldest high schools in the state. In 1883 was when we started, and I think Pinkerton might be the only one older than we are. And the kids do. The bell was from the old building. They ring it on the way in and way out. And I've told kids, you win a state championship, you get to ring that bell. So I'm really putting the heat on them to try to get that. And they can all, ring that things to their heart content if they can put one of the big banners on the wall. I like the little ones, but I'd rather have one of the big ones.
Well, we had the opportunity to talk to a couple of your girls who were cleaning here during the semifinals. Great kids. It's awesome to be able to visit your facility. Thank you for sharing it with us.
My pleasure.
That is Bob Dawson, the athletic director at Sanborn High School. Thank you, Bob, for taking time to speak with us, and best of luck in the spring season. All right, well, there it is. So we're going to, speaking of heading into the next season, one of these two teams is going to head into the spring a state champion. And right now, it is Bedford up 35-22 against the five-time defending champion Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Jason Roby along with Tom King. Deb Cody on the moving pictures with the highlight guy. And here comes Brooke Paquette.
All right, the biggest thing for BG, Murray, 0 points.
And as you say that,
yep, exactly.
She knifes through and gets the first bucket of the second half. That ball's going to go off of Grogan. I don't know what the call is. They're going to say
Bedford ball.
Off of Gurton. So I have bad eyes. I'm not sure they're that bad. Mumpini gets the ball into King. She'll work on McDonald. And the steal there by Wheeler in the Cards.
Would have gotten a faster break if McCarthy hadn't gotten in the way.
Near turnover there, Paquette.
Yeah.
Quick hands, able to keep possession. Finds
Good job
Wheeler
by
in the
Bedford.
corner.
By Bedford to shut off the inside right there.
And this is the shot that they need to get,
And
and
they're
they
not
can't.
getting it,
Yep.
and that's the problem.
Good hustle there by Stack. King comes away with the loose ball.
See, they hit that three. It's down in single digits, and they're back in the game a little, basically.
Have to believe Coach Craig told his young ladies that this was it for the season. 1 half left of play.
Well, you know Kevin Gibbs said the same thing.
What a pretty move there by King. And it looks like Murray going to get called for a foul as
Yep.
she hacked
her
King.
from behind.
So Murray will pick up the personal foul in the act as King will go to the line for a pair. Knocks down the first. 11 points so far for King. Makes the second. 13-point Bulldog advantage. Paquette hands the ball off to Murray. They reverse the floor quickly to Wheeler, looking for the streaker through the post. A kick out to Paquette. She'll fire. You can't get it to go. Backside rebound by Grogan. Here come the Bulldogs. A 4-on-2. Quick dish out to King. Dangerous! 5 quick points here in the third quarter for Isabella King, showing why she's the odds-on favorite for Player of the Year in the state of New Hampshire. And a nice move there by Stack on the baseline. And you mentioned it, Tom, they cannot exchange baskets with this Bedford team.
No, they can't. And they can't allow King to kill them from three-point land either. They have to go out on her and cover her there.
Just under 6 minutes in the third quarter to go. Pennick will get the ball back out to Grogan. Grogan now. They got the ball to McCarthy, and a nice, pretty move by Pennick. Back the other way come the Cardinals. She doesn't have the numbers. She'll run it. Got her own rebound. And they'll set things back up with Stack. Stack working on Mumpini. Back to McDonald, the runner in the lane. She got tripped up.
And will it be in the act or on the floor? I believe it's on the floor. Let's see.
And I believe that foul is on McCarthy. So that's either 2 or 3 on her. Coach Craig asking if she was in the act. Referees say no, it was on the floor. So it'll be a possession foul underneath the basket.
The board is on 13.
Offensive foul there by
See
Murray.
what happens there? McCarthy and King get in the way in the lane. No room for Murray to move, and she gets called for the foul.
Murray with 2 quick fouls there in the third quarter. And I think you might be right, Tom. But I don't see a, yeah, it was Mumpini with that foul,
Mumpini
Tom, not
got called,
McCarthy. Pennick gets the ball off to Mumpini. She'll dribble, throw one up in the lane, can't get it to go. Rebound Paquette. Here come the Cardinals. Oh, and usually they keep that ball. They come away with a layup or at least possession. That one goes off Wheeler's hands.
It's called we're down 14 and we need to push it.
So things not bouncing the way for the Cardinals today. As King will work on Paquette, and she'll fire one up and get the shooter
she's too
cut.
open.
She's feeling it now, Tom
She
King.
is really too open for Gurton.
42-26 now. Wheeler got the ball into Stack. Stack and leather souffle there. They're going to say Stack was out of bounds. They're going to get possession to the Bulldogs. Full court pressure being applied now by the Cardinals. Mumpini will lose her dribble, find Grogan. She'll work against McDonald. Double team there. Ball's on the floor, and it takes a Bulldog roll. Mumpini finds Pennick, who's going to work in the corner against Wheeler. They'll skip it out to the hot hand. And there's the hot hand, Isabella King. And it is lights out. She is feeling it today, Tom. 10 points here in the third quarter so far for Isabella King.
Again, she's open. She's wide open, and she's taking it, and it's hitting.
King
You know?
is one of
Look, you know, basketball isn't that complicated a game, Jason. It's you either make the shots or you don't. And right now, Bedford's making their shots, Gurton's not. And that's the difference. Look at, you know, that's the difference in the game. It really is. You know, it comes down to about 8 or 9 shots that the Bulldogs have made that the Cardinals just haven't been able to do.
Right. So not the best day to have your worst shooting performance if you are the Bishop Guertin Cardinals.
Yeah.
They find themselves in a huge hole with 4:19 to go here in the third quarter. 18 points by my count.
But
And
King, what's King got for points? He's got 10 in this quarter.
10 in this quarter
I'd
for
imagine
King.
it's about 18.
20 points thus
20,
far
yep.
in this one. The second quarter belonged to McCarthy
and you know what?
King. This one to
and
King.
you know what? You know, we talked all year, sophomores, seniors, everything else, and how this team is kind of, that theory doesn't count for this team because they're unusual sophomores. Though in this game,
The seniors
stepping up.
And
taking-
Bedford only has 3 of them.
Right.
She obviously is one of them, along
Right,
with
but she's
Marina
the-
Braga and Christina
But when you
Braga.
have a senior like that, that's like having 5 seniors.
Right. So aside from her, you have to believe this is a Bedford team that's not going anywhere next year either.
Right.
And that ball gets stolen by McCarthy, finds Pennick. She'll dribble, stop short of the 3-point line, kick it back out to King. King working on McDonald now and finds McCarthy in the low post, and they dish it out. And McCarthy went up and went over the top, grabbed a good rebound, but found herself overextended. Back the other way come the Cardinals. 3-point attempt there, and it seems like the Cards are forcing it. McDonald cleans it up underneath. 4 points for her today so far. They break the pressure relatively easily, and King will come down the right side. They're fronting McCarthy with Stack underneath. Everything at this point going through. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Oh my!
And Isabella King just dropped the microphone on the floor on that 3-pointer.
She sure did.
Wow! And the Cards finding the sledding tough going here as Barker will try to force the issue, and they come again away with nothing.
And it's going to take right now a miracle. It's going to take a lot of pressure defensively and a lot of Bedford turnovers to change this outcome.
Nice backdoor cut there. Paquette stepped in the passing lane. They have a 2-on-1. That bounce pass intercepted by Grogan. Mumpini baseline jumper, good!
Brad Creek right now, he's not used to seeing this. He is out of state, but not in the game in New Hampshire.
A 21-point Bedford advantage. McDonald thought about the step back. Barker will do it instead. Front iron, rebound Mumpini in the Bulldogs. They just put another point somehow on the scoreboard, I think because it was a 3-pointer.
From Mumpini?
I don't know. It was 49-28. Suddenly it became 50-28.
Well, one of King's shots might have been a 3. I'm not sure.
But at this point, probably not going to matter. As another layup missed by the Cardinals. Mumpini will pull back. She's feeling it. Front iron, rebound Paquette. Barker now had McDonald for a second. She drives into the lane, forces up another shot. No foul called. Brad Craig looking for the body, but isn't going to get it.
No, it's just
They're
one of
letting
those,
them play today.
Just one of those days where the shots just are not going to fall.
And that ball thrown to the official. So Barker will check out.
Yeah, Brad Creek getting some other players in the game, looking for some kind of combination that's going to work. But you know what? With basically 9:33 left and you're down 22, this is a little different story than the last game where Gurton had already made some inroads into that Bedford lead.
And a different feel altogether as well.
Definitely a different feel now, you know.
Grogan gets the ball over to Mumpini. Mumpini working against Murray. Was looking for Sophia Lagoyan. Finds Kezianski, who had a nice first half, got called for the travel. So what needs to happen here, Tom, is if you're BG, you need to come away with points on just about every possession
Just
from here
about
on out.
it, but you also need to
stop them.
You need to use your pressure to try to stop them.
Well, pressure's not going to help them today, I don't think. And that one finding front iron.
Let's see, King is out of the game right now. So what you got to do with your stack is you got to drive it, you know, because they can't double you in the paint.
You know what's funny, Tom, and there are basketballs that are finding its way into Gurton hands, but they're not maintaining the possession. It's slipping through their hands.
There's turnovers, but there's also missed shots, and there's also ill-advised shots. You saw their offense struggle the other night, and that to me told me that, okay, this is a situation where if they struggle like this in the half court against Bedford, they're going to have some issues. Because Bedford won't struggle in the half court. So
I hate to say it, I watched this Bedford team play in the semifinals, and there was just a feeling that I got, you know, watching them.
Well, I mean, I think that
nice drive there by Kezianski. Excuse me, Tom.
I mean, I think that if they got another edge in this game, you know, Kevin Gibbs is going to say, look, we blew it the last time. We're not going to blow it again.
Right.
You know, and that determination is going to make a big deal.
Stepping into the passing lane there was Mumpini, knocks it in the hands of Grogan.
Turnover.
Yep. Murray now. Good ball movement and a three-point shot, front iron there. A box out found its way. No travel call.
No travel, but no foul either.
They're
right over the top of it.
They're going to give the timeout to Bedford while possession is still up in the air. 10 seconds to go here.
Basically, if you're Brad Creek, what you got to tell them is just play defense. Just do the best job you can defensively and try to turn that into your offense, because otherwise there's no other way to come back in this game.
6 seconds left here in the third quarter. A 52-28 Bedford Bulldog advantage, and not the way the Cardinals want to see things go today, but a situation where not utterly surprised, Tom King. Not utterly surprised in the least.
I thought Bedford was the favorite coming in my mind, so just because of the way they played in that first game.
And King left all alone underneath the hoop. No travel, no foul call. I don't know what's going on here. King with a scoop up and under, and here comes McDonald. She'll fire from three. Front iron, no good. It wouldn't have been good anyway.
They could have used that.
The referee waved it off. I don't think it would have counted if it went, but we're going to head into the fourth quarter of action here, Tom King, and your score at the end of three, Bedford 52, Bishop Guertin 28. So post-game awards will be given out at the end of this one in terms of the state champion and runner-up plaques, as well as the medals. We'll try to get an interview or two at the end of this one. Not sure how that will be received, but we'll give it the old college try. 24-point Bedford Bulldog advantage. And at this point, if we look at the scoring, a 13-point quarter for Isabella King, the 6'1" senior guard captain. She had 18 in the first meeting between these two teams. So, and a difference in body language and volume as Bedford screaming in their huddle while the Gurton girls intently listening to their coaching staff. And very impressive with this group of young ladies from Bedford and how they've played thus far. Cardinals will send out Bowen, McDonald, Murray. Looks like Molly Smith is in the game, as well as Wheeler. Meanwhile, Bedford will counter with Mumpini, Grogan, King, McCarthy, and it looks like Emma Kezianski. Runner in the lane, leather souffle. Block shot in the paint there. Back the other way comes Bedford. Mumpini in the corner. Guarded closely by Great Malls of Fire. Grogan works it out. And a pretty shot there by Emma Kezianski.
And Brad Creek just says enough is enough. Wow.
And this is the blitzkrieg that if you are Coach Craig, you're worried about. You knew that there was going to be a size advantage in terms of the half-court offense. What you didn't know was that they were going to be raining threes from the outside. And at my last count, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 three-pointers for this Bedford Bulldog team. Looks like what we would normally see from a Gurton team in terms of three-point shots.
This is what they do to the other team, and and in the tournament earlier on, last Sunday I talked to Brad about his outside shooting, and I said this is probably one of the better outside shooting teams you've had. Problem is today, the lid is on the basket.
Well, and when I watched them play Londonderry, I watched Stack operate against Coach Nick Fios' Londonderry team, and they created a lot of double and triple teams on Stack.
Right.
And didn't give her the opportunity to drive. The difference was Stack could dish out and they would make that perimeter shot.
Today,
Difference here today is they're not making the outside shot. They're not making the inside shots.
No, they're not making anything. Their offense got stagnant, and then what happens then is you fall behind when the other team starts hitting shots. You fall behind, and then you rush, and then you're taken out of your game, and it just ends like that. So.
All right, 7:30 and counting to go here in this one. A huge lead for the Bulldogs. Backdoor, nice step in front there by Sydney Grogan. Comes away with the steal, and Brad Craig talked about her quick hands and how she was a nuisance on defense, and sure enough, she's having a great game defensively.
Here, the thing I always say is when you have an elite player,
all right,
like King, you really should win one title sometime.
Sure.
And this is their time.
And
when that happens, it's definitely their time.
Kezianski, her second three-pointer. Scoop shot, no good there.
When the others hit it, that's it. And it's 30 points. It's over.
And they are just feeling it in Bedford.
Oh, yeah.
The bench is up. They're jumping around. They know. There's 6 minutes to go and a half, but Kezianski misses the layup there, but it looks like that ball was going to go off of a Cardinal. Paquette comes down with it. Here they come. They don't have the numbers. Murray will drive. Banished from the Kingdom of Hardwood.
No.
That three-point attempt is no good. McCarthy blocked that shot, so she's causing all kinds of problems on the inside. Mumpini misses the layup, but that ball's going to go off of Paquette's foot, and there it is, Tom. You can't catch a break if you're BG.
Nope, not at all.
Balls are going off of your feet, your legs. Possession going off of your hands. Can't catch anything clean. It is just the worst case scenario here for the Lady Cardinals. But you know, Tom, they'll be back.
Well, they'll be the favorite.
They'll be back. Now, I don't.
They
lose
favorite.
King to graduation. But
that's a big loss. And McCarthy, there's word whether or not she stays at Bedford.
King, pullback, can't get it go. Mumpini, a nice rebound over Murray. And Mumpini.
But I'm talking about Gurton being the favorite. So
right, I know.
I would imagine they would be the favorite next year.
Kaylee Mcdonald working against Grogan. Crossover dribble, pestered there. Great defensive pressure. A nice pass from Stack. Finds Wheeler from the reigning three-pointer from the outside. That one touched the light bulb.
That's what they needed in the first half, just.
Yeah, the dribble penetration, but this is what they didn't need. And a rare miss there for the freshman. Lena McCarthy, by the way, Tom, I have her scoreless so far in the second half.
Yep.
But defensively, she's been playing great.
That's just it. They don't need her to score. If King's hitting those shots,
here comes the press.
If the other players are hitting those shots, they don't need her to score.
Paquette made the shot, and we'll see. King's feeling it. Airballs that one. That ball goes out of bounds. Cardinal possession. Checking in now for Bishop Guertin is number 23. Looks like Kate Daly will be coming in, getting her first action of the day.
I think it's pretty apparent to Brad. To Brad Creek, he's going to try to get as many people out there as he can.
Yeah, no question about that.
Because he knows that it's over.
Well, they've had a great season, Tom, and
a great year and a great run. Who knows?
Murray from the outside, she'll hit one. Just her 5th point of the game.
Yep.
And only 2 team fouls against Gurton, only 1 against Bedford, so this one not in danger of becoming a free throw
No.
contest. So a definite different feel to this one. Stack, she'll fire from the outside.
Well, they're all
Front
going to
iron.
fire from the outside now because they
McDonald.
need the extra points. Well,
She'll take it in. And a late call there as McDonald took it to the hole. Looks like it was Kezianski on the foul. We'll see who it was. Yeah, Kezianski. So McDonald will go to the line for a pair. She knocks down the first. Checking in now for the Bulldogs is Marina Braga, one of those seniors that we talked about. Marina Braga, Christina Braga, and of course Isabella King, the only seniors for Bedford. McDonald will knock down the second. Full court pressure now being applied. A near steal there by Stack. They'll try to trap Marina Braga, and a tense and a good timeout called there by Kevin Gibbs. You give him credit for that one, Tom. That was a turnover waiting to happen, and Gibbs said, nope, we're going to keep possession, get a fresh 10 seconds.
Well, here's the thing, is in this game what they've done is they've hit their shots. So when you hit their shots, that takes the pressure away, you know, and that helps. So, and they guard against the press. They practiced against the press. They have a bigger floor to work on against the press. And when Gurton was able to get that pressure working in the first half, they weren't able to convert on the other end.
Not a lot of points in transition today
None.
for BG.
And that's the way they win. And you know what? They didn't get that many points in transition the other night either.
No, you mentioned that. Only 4 3-pointers for the Cardinals. 2 of them have come here in the fourth quarter.
Right. And basically, it's, you know, basically the game's already decided.
Right.
So.
Bedford will get possession inbound to Grogan. Grogan working against McDonald. A good matchup here all night. Gotta like what Grogan brings to this team. And she'll pull it back.
That's about 3 steps right there.
McCarthy misses the layup, gets her own rebound, puts it up and in. Didn't want to give up the assist.
Well, Stack. If McCarthy stays, Stack and McCarthy be a great matchup for the next couple of years.
No question. And again, Bedford having very little trouble with the pressure. Can't get the roll there. Nice box out by Daly.
I think the pressure right now is kind of a little less intense than it was because of the scoreboard.
And blocking foul. Paquette going to go to the line. Still, it looks to be just the 3rd team foul, I think, Tom, or maybe the 2nd. Nope, 3rd team foul on Bedford. So 2 free throws for Paquette. Nice shot there by Paquette. Chance to get the lead to 20. So a 20-point Bedford advantage. And a steal, and guarding against the backcourt, that's why Stack threw that, Tom. She realized she didn't know where she intercepted it.
Yep, exactly.
Can't blame her for that. Paquette now getting tripped up in the paint. Grogan, a nice bounce pass there. Good hands by Kezianski. Grogan back to McCarthy. McCarthy looking for help, and they'll just be content. No shot clock in the state of New Hampshire, so they'll just continue to work this ball around the perimeter and knock some time off the clock. Well done by the Bulldogs.
Smart. And see, that
what a good play. And she's only a freshman. McCarthy
Knows
made
the
a
deal.
great play dishing it out.
Knows the deal.
A great possession here for Bedford. They won't come away with points potentially, but they will have knocked off about a minute.
This is an outstanding job by Bedford with their best players playing their best game.
Foul line jumper. Did she call glass? A nice kiss shot there by Sydney Grogan. 2:15 to go here in this one.
All right, Jason Roby, down on the floor I go.
Tom, would you like to take one of these Clem's donuts with you? Because
no,
there are enough calories in this for your entire day.
I'll pass.
Okay, very good. Isabella King will take the ball out, and it looks like Bowen will check back in, and Megan Stack will get a some nice recognition from her teammates. 2:09 to go here. A relative foregone conclusion. Back the other way comes Bedford. Gurton will continue to be aggressive, but Bedford has just handled it well all day, and it looks like Paquette is going to get called on that one with the push. Just being ultra aggressive, trying to make something happen. Can't falter for that. Barker now in. And Olivia Murray will get some recognition from the coaches and the staff over on the Gurton sideline. King now working on McDonald, trying to pick up the pick from McCarthy. And just real good ball movement by Bedford. They'll keep possession as that one goes off of Paquette's hands. So Gurton having a lot of success this winter. Their boys won the Division II wrestling title. The boys last night beat Winnick-Punnett in the Division I finals. Girls hockey won the state championship. And Gurton, it appears, will be this year's state runner-up with a slew of sophomores on their roster. Have to believe they will be back as Molly Smith checks into the game for Kaylee Mcdonald, and the lone senior Charlotte Sullivan will check into the game for Brooke Paquette. King now gets the ball back out to Grogan. Grogan's pass was intended for Kezianski, went out of bounds, so Gurton will get possession. 1:32 to go here. A 22-point Bedford lead. Crossover dribble by Barker. Find Daly, kick out to Smith. Smith will pivot, looking for Sullivan. Double team pestered there at the foul line. And no timeout call. Possession will go to Bedford. And checking in now is Christina Braga, one of the other seniors. Marina Braga, Christina Braga, and Isabella King, the only seniors on the roster, as she will come in for Lana McCarthy. Lana McCarthy had a great game today, offensively and defensively. And Braga was wide open underneath, but they're just going to run this one out. Back top of the key now, reaching in is Barker. Barker not going to foul. Backdoor cut stolen by Molly Smith. Smith got it up to Barker. Barker will go up against Grogan. She'll throw one up and in, and a pretty move there by Maisie Barker. Good body control. And this gym is eerily quiet, but in about 37 seconds, you're going to hear some loud cheers from this fan section to my right. Bedford Lady Bulldogs already standing and cheering as that ball, nearly stolen by Bowen, finds its way into the hands of Isabella King, and why not? The best player on the floor cleans it up. And they were trying to get the ball to Marina Braga. She was fouled in the act, so she's going to go to the line for a pair. Chance for the senior to get on the score sheet here in the closing seconds of this one. And the announcement just made there that they will try to get the award ceremony at half court at the conclusion of this one. Senior Braga misses the first of two. She'll go get a second. Neither team in the bonus here in the second half. Braga can't get it to go. Back the other way comes Barker. She'll work on Grogan. A nice bounce pass there to Molly Smith. Smith gets the pretty layup. Good feed from Barker. 7 seconds left. That's just about going to do it. We'll see what Bedford does here at the buzzer. Can't get it to go, but that is going to do it. And the Bulldogs are your 2021 state champions as they run out onto their side of the court and celebrate. They are your state champions for the year. They defeat Bishop Guertin 64-46 here on the campus of Sanborn High School. And getting some well-deserved recognition from the parents who are in attendance here today. Meanwhile, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, who came into today's game undefeated, will suffer their first taste of defeat on the year. They will lose senior Charlotte Sullivan to graduation, but the rest of these ladies will all be back next year, as a majority of them are sophomores. So would not be surprised if we saw these two teams in this same spot a year from today. I think we're going to stay and do the awards ceremony. We want to make sure we get the recognition of both of these teams, as Bedford High School really firing on all cylinders today, could do no wrong. And Isabella King from the outside, Lana McCarthy on the inside, and just great defensive effort from the rest of the Bulldogs, including Sydney Grogan, who you're not going to find on the score sheet much except for a two-pointer, but just had a monstrous game defensively. So a great effort by Kezianski, obviously, and Mumpini had a good game. Did King and McCarthy. Coach Craig coming out to half court, calling out Charlotte Sullivan, the senior captain of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, to receive the runner-up plaque and medals. And congratulations to Charlotte. Had the opportunity to interview her. First game of the year here, and a terrific young lady. And now Coach Kevin Gibbs and the senior group for Bedford, Marina Braga, Christina Braga, and Isabella King, come out to get the plaque, the state championship plaque, along with their head coach, Kevin Gibbs, and presenting it to the fans in the stands. Jeff Collins also there, will be presenting the game ball to Coach Gibbs, along with the ball for the trophy case. This is a trophy case game, folks, so really have to give it up for the Bulldogs, who are firing on all cylinders today, offensively, defensively, inside, outside. Isabella King, she finished with, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 23 points for the outgoing senior. Showed why she is a big contender for Player of the Year. And I think we're going to try to maybe talk to Coach Brad Craig. We'll see if he wants to do something here at the end. Jason Roby here for NHIAA TV. Want to say hello to our friends over on Bedford Public Television. I'm standing here with state champion Isabella King. Isabella, that has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels so good to get this win.
Isabella, you had a monstrous game out there, 23 points by my count. Great defensive job, even better on the backdoor cuts with your passing. What was the message for your teammates coming into this one, knowing you had played a Bishop Guertin team and given up a big lead in that first game? What's the message that Coach gave to you guys coming into this title game?
Yeah, we just had to want it more, and we had to play all 4 quarters and not like it's a whole game. And just everyone, we all had to work together and play together to get this win, which everyone did great today, and everyone stepped up, which was a part. And yeah, we're champions.
Has to feel good, Isabella. What's the future hold for you, young lady? Obviously a senior, one of 3 on this Bedford team. What are we doing in the spring, and what are we doing next year at this time?
Yeah, in the spring I'm just going to keep working, and then I'm going to Bucknell in the fall, so we have summer workouts there, so I'm going to be doing that and just get into work down there and hopefully carry the same thing and win some championships down there.
A great attitude there, a state champion here. Congratulations, Isabella. Way to go, show them that plaque. State champion, Isabella King, Bedford High School, your 2021 state champs. Congratulations.
Thank you. Woo.
Jason Roby here for NHIAA TV and the highlight guy. We are joined by Coach Gibbs, and also Sid the Kid Grogan played an outstanding game at the point guard position today, stepping into the lane on many of those backdoor cuts, creating all kinds of havoc defensively. Coach, you had something you wanted to say about Sydney?
Yeah, first of all, she leads the team by far in charges. She took 3 today, but what nobody knows is that she suffered a high ankle sprain against Portsmouth. has been on crutches the last 2 days,
Wow.
couldn't even put any weight on it on Thursday, and let's just say that packed into this 5 foot 3 inches is the biggest warrior and the biggest heart that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. She's a great kid, and she makes us go defensively and offensively.
Well, she is all smiles underneath this mask, I can tell. And Sydney, great effort by you out there today. And clearly the game, it's not about scoring all the time. It's about defense. It's about leading the team on the steals and in the backcourt, doing a great job of breaking that press. How does it feel to be a state champ, Sid?
Oh my God, it feels amazing, you know. We came in here as the underdogs, losing to them earlier in the season, and we knew if we gave everything we got, this would be the outcome. And I'm just so proud of everyone, how they stepped into their roles, and we did everything we could to achieve this dream of ours. So,
what was the message coming into this game, Sid? I'm sure Coach Gibbs kind of kept it on the down low in terms of what the motivation was, but was that initial game when you played them so long ago, was that talked about at all at practice?
oh yeah, that was definitely a little upsetting to have them by 20 and then end up losing in the end. But that just gave us way more motivation and fuel in this game to not only win, but just kill them out the floor.
Spider-Man making appearance here, throwing the web around her neck, and the championship net awarded to Sydney Grogan. And the things you can't always measure on a score sheet you did out there today. Congratulations on being a 2021 state champ, Sydney.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Take care, Coach. Congratulations. We are here with head man of the Bishop Guertin Lady Cardinals, Brad Craik. And Coach, not the way you foresaw this one going today. Clearly a Bedford team that came out here. They didn't miss much. They played great defense, had great intensity, and just overtook your young team today. Any thoughts on what you talked to the girls about back there at the end of this one?
Yeah, I'm proud of our kids. You know, they played as hard as they could possibly play. We got beat by a better basketball team today. And, you know, all the credit in the world to those Bedford kids. They played a better basketball game today. It's just, I mean, I wish I had a better explanation for you than that, but sometimes that happens. And, you know, look, I told our kids two things. One, you guys played as hard as you can today. You gave us everything you possibly could give us all year long, and it's going to hurt for a little while. And the second thing I told them is, don't forget how this feels. Don't ever forget how this feels, because with the exception of Sully, we got everybody coming back. And if there's ever anything that's going to motivate you to, you know, to get better and get back where we want to get to, it's that feeling. And they're, you know, they're devastated, obviously, as they should be, and as you would expect them to be. But, you know, little time will heal some of that stuff, and we'll get back at it, and we'll get better.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the things that maybe didn't go your way today that normally do, the little things that make the huge difference in the game, the turning points, the turnovers? What was it that really kind of, you could feel that this wasn't going to be like it was the first time around?
Yeah, so we didn't get stops. You know, so I think you know, not surprised that they started pretty quick and so forth. You know, in the second quarter of the game, we started to speed the game up a little bit. We started to turn them over a little bit, and finally started to score the ball a little bit. But we just couldn't get back and get stops. You know, we were kind of trading baskets there for a little while, and you know, you feel a little bit better about things, and you look up, and it's still 13.
Right.
So that's probably the first thing, is we just didn't feel like we could consistently get stops in the half court, and that hurt us. And then obviously, you know, look, we just didn't shoot the ball well today. Right. You know, we you know, early on, I think, you know, we were settling a little bit. That's probably nerves. But you know, once we settled down, we got some decent looks. We just couldn't put the ball in the basket. So you kind of add those things up, and you're not consistently getting stops, and then you can't score the ball consistently. It's, you know, gonna be a tough day, especially against a good team that shot the lights out. Yeah, they really shot the ball great.
Isabella King had about as good a day as you could have for a team out there today shooting the basketball. Certainly the penetration, you know, by McCarthy and the dishes up to King really were a good 1-2 combination. And you talked about, you know, the point guard Sydney Grogan and how she could disrupt some things. And those three really had big games today for Bedford.
Yeah, they're great players. You know, they're all great players in their own right, and you know, King's a great basketball player. You know, she's a Division I scholarship kid for a reason. Right. And, you know, and she senior leadership today, and she just did a great job. And you know, congratulations to her.
He is Brad Craik, and want to congratulate Coach Craik on an outstanding season. I know it doesn't feel like it now, but this Cardinal team will be back, fans, and these young sophomores will be a year older next year, and I'm sure if this coaching staff has anything to say about it, you'll be back in this position again a year from now. And stay healthy, be well, and we'll talk to you soon, Coach. Congratulations on a great season, buddy.
Appreciate everything, guys.
Thank you very much. That is Brad Craik. Well, this is the conclusion of the Division I high school girls basketball season. Certainly not the way that it wanted to end for Bishop Guertin, but on the other side of things, Bedford High School played nearly a flawless game and executed very well in the half court en route to the state title. Congratulations to the Bedford High School Bulldogs, and also congratulations to Coach Craik and his Lady Cardinals. For Nashua ETV, I'm Jason Roby signing off and saying be well, take care, and we'll see you soon.
This NHIAA Division I Girls Basketball Championship game is brought to you by Nashua ETV, where education hits home in Nashua, and by Steve and Deb Cody, the highlight guy on YouTube, providing highlight reels for your student athlete.